Today we're talking Omega Speedmaster, George Clooney, and the Tudor Black Bay Black.
You ask questions, and I answer.
Kind of like Gary Vee, but like for watches.
Boom, watch fan! What's up, watch geeks? Welcome to episode 3 of Ask TNH. Today we are doing a little bit of a change in our original plan. We were originally doing 2 questions and a market reaction every Wednesday. We're going to release that. Now we're going to do 2 questions on Tuesday, and then on Thursday we're going to release our market reaction, which will be relevant and time in accordance with what just happened, as opposed to being a week late. So tune in on Thursday also for a market reaction.
I read your Watch Time article about the Speedmaster. Why do you hate George Clooney?
I don't hate George Clooney. So f***ing stop that. Do not spread that rumor. I don't hate George Clooney. End of story. I did an article for Watch Time a couple weeks back, or no, just now. I wrote it a couple weeks back. It was just published. About the Omega Speedmaster and kind of tracing its lineage from its genesis in the 50s to now, whether or not it's true to itself and whether Omega is true to itself or not. My ultimate conclusion was that no. I feel that Omega has exploited themselves. They were kind of like out their own identity for this huge mass market appeal, and I'm fine with that. I'm fine with market appeal. That's how this watch community will grow, by really educating people and getting people into watches. But for my own sensibility, I feel like there are ways to do that, and there are ways that I'm going to make fun of you for. And what Omega was doing was yelling, please pick on me, make fun of my marketing. Okay, so the George Clooney aspect came into it because Omega is really doing some mechanically spectacular stuff. Their release of the Globemaster was, just totally tremendous. Their new certification, there's the Meta certification, is amazing. They're challenging other watch houses to meet their certification, which they will, and they know they will. Is it possible that someone will at some point relatively soon? Maybe someone will try, but I don't think so. I think that Omega is saying, we're the guy right now. We are the strong company. We're challenging you to come after us, and people won't. And I think that's great. But what the f*** does George Clooney have to do with Omega or the Speedmaster or anything? What does George Clooney, the good-looking 50-something-year-old with gray hair on a motorcycle, have anything to do with the Speedmaster? Nothing. The Speedmaster was a racing watch for cars in, 57, right? And then it became really popular in, the
1960s, early mid-1960s, whatever the moon launch was, 1967,
I don't know. Bottom line is, that's when Omega got popular. That's when the Speedmaster got popular. So where does George Clooney, an actor, not a watch guy, or at least not an advertised watch guy, on a motorcycle, fit into the Omega story if you're going to actually pitch like a legitimate claim to watch dynasty? It doesn't. It's childish. I really feel like that ploy was much for a really, childish company. Not a bad company. I don't mean a bad company would do that. I just mean a different kind of company. A company that is much more trendy and directed and kind of a company that puts more of their weight and more of their value in marketing. And marketing's great, but a company that doesn't have as much behind the scenes to back up their marketing. That's what I felt. That was my impression. Okay, so Omega overcompensating with 80-something models, to me, was pathetic. I think the line that they bragged was a dynamic range of options. It wasn't a dynamic range of options. It was, I think I wrote in the article, you want it, we've got it. This isn't a 99-cent store. This is supposed to be a luxury or a high-quality watch house. So I hated George Clooney's association. I don't blame George Clooney. If I were George Clooney, I would absolutely, take the millions of dollars I'm sure Omega paid him to ride a motorcycle, look really good, and wear and probably get a free watch. But in that scenario, I just feel bad being a watch guy watching Omega do what they're doing. Not because it's not profitable, not because it's not technically good, but because it's whoring. Can I say whoring? I don't know.
Why did you feel so strongly about the Black Bay Black? What can Tudor do to better their marketing appeal?
I hate a lot of things, obviously. People really think that I don't hate the Black Bay Black. Absolutely not. I think that the Black Bay Black is a sick-looking watch. I would recommend it to anyone who was looking for a sports watch. I think it's very cool. I think it's respectfully reminiscent without copying vintage Tudor and vintage Rolex 6538 or whatever it may be. The no crown is the no crown protector is super cool. No crown guard. The red triangle at the top, if there's a name for that, whatever it might be. Very cool. Very reminiscent. I like the watch. What I didn't like, and what Caleb didn't like, the writer of the article, the market reaction that got so much attention, was the fact that this color change, this change in the bezel color, not a big deal, got so much attention from watch media. I think that trivializes watch media. Someone changed the color of something. So what? I mean, release a small post about it, but an in-depth review, I mean, really new material, bringing in John Mayer. I love John Mayer's article, no doubt. I think he's super cool, and I think his writing is, like, not surprisingly, he writes good songs, too, but, like, his watch writing is really on point. But I just don't think that the attention it got was deserved or earned. Every big watch blog had one in their possession, was posting massive photos of it, and really just broke the watch internet. That's not news to me. That breaks the watch internet. I don't know what would be worthy of that. Rolex, if Rolex released a complication, if Rolex released a reissue Padalone or something like that, deal, I'm in. Break the internet, get Hodinkee, get a blog to watch, get everyone to talk about it, everyone to blog about it, whatever. That would be awesome. But the color change of a bezel, to me, I don't think it was worth the attention it got. And it's not such a small thing. I mean, it trivializes the value of the content. I mean, I don't really want to flip through watch blogs if everything is going to be that, a color change. Could you imagine if every time there was a color change in a mildly significant watch? I mean, the Black Bay's pretty young. It's mildly significant. Our news feeds were flooded on every media source with that information. It becomes irrelevant. I think that one of the most valuable commodities that we're working in, no matter what medium we're in, is time. And the fact that we are wasting our time by reading or having to flip through 9 different articles, it decreases the value, in my opinion, of all those watch blogs. Not massively, not markedly by any means. I probably won't even notice it. But I know it puts a bit of like a lame taste in my mouth. And I'm a consumer, I'm doing a video blog, but ultimately I'm a consumer. I'm a consumer, before I was anything else in watches. So I don't like it. I think it was totally played out. I would, once again, still recommend a Black Bay Black. I think it's super cool. Someone commented on Instagram, on our Instagram post about the market reaction, that Tudor should maybe include separate bezels for these watches. Why can't you trade out the burgundy bezel for a blue bezel, for a black bezel? That would be a really cool addition. I mean, Tudor could sell even like a kit. I don't know what it would include. Maybe like a vintage Submariner anchor, and some couple bezels. That would definitely increase revenue. Thought it was super cool, and that's it. I mean, I don't hate the Black Bay Black. Don't say that shit. Don't spread those rumors. All right, guys. Thanks for watching episode 3 of Ask TNH. We have a long road to go. Send us our questions. Hashtag AskTNH. It's hashtag AskTNH, not just hashtag TNH. Put the hashtag right here. Is that too low? Right there. Put the hashtag right there. Send us any questions via email as well. Comment in the comment section below with what you hated about my episode or what you loved. I will see you next week. Watch Geeks.